Hello everybody and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. My name is Eric Worre and I'm here in Dallas, Texas in this luxurious hotel room. I know it's an amazing backdrop for an incredible person you're gonna hear about in just a moment. But what you're gonna hear about in this interview is the power of personal development and how important it is as it incorporates into the network marketing profession. And the reason why this gentleman has the right to be able to talk about that is, I think, like very few people, he has spent most of his life in the area and the passion around personal development. Currently, he is the editor of Success Magazine and doing amazing things with that new magazine and the multimedia around it, providing tremendous value. And I will tell you, he's given me a personal contribution of the fact that I've been passionate about personal development my whole life, and we've worked together. We've known each other for a long time, 15 years at least minimum. And to see that he's continuing the legacy of helping millions of people around the world through personal development. So I'm very glad to have him. I'm glad he was able to make it. But my friends, I'm excited to introduce you to Mr. Darren Hardy, editor of Success Magazine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
For being here. Is that your official title, editor?
Yeah, publisher and editorial director. Yeah.
Publisher and editorial. In other words, you kind of decide where it goes.
I work with a team of people who are all very passionate about the final product.
Right. All right. I'm a big fan of personal development, as you know. What makes you such a big fan?
Results. Really, the results in my life. I think I'm a walking billboard and testimonial reel for personal development. When I was 18 years old, I was in a lobby waiting to be seated at a restaurant and happened to meet a guy. We got to talking, and he casually invited me to a seminar. And for something about him, I decided to sort of take this stranger's tip and went to this seminar. And I hate to sound over exaggerated, but it truly changed my life. I think it just opened my eyes. It's kind of like a light switch. The energy was always there, but you flip the switch, and that seminar flipped the switch for me, and really sort of swelled my ambition and drive, and gave me a place to point it. So that was 18. Applying those principles, by 19 I was earning a six-figure income. And then I got into real estate at 20. I applied some of the principles that I had learned of personal achievement, and again, not to pat myself on the back, but really to be a testimony for personal development. I was out selling an office of 42 agents combined. In the first year, I was number one in the city. Second year, number one out of 3,000 agents. Again, I was 20. And then by age 23 is when I met my mentor. I think frankly you introduced me to him, and it was Jim Rohn.
Really?
And that was 23, and then applying his ideas and principles ever since. By 27, I was a millionaire. So again, it's the results that is the reason why I'm so passionate about personal development.
Well, man, the people who are listening to this have to kind of assume, hold on a minute. You got introduced at 18, you're making six figures by 19, have this amazing trajectory. Were you like made for this, born for this? Were you genetically predisposed? Kind of as a follow-up to that, I mean, did personal development really open up that many doors?
It did. And ever since then, I've been an avid consumer of personal development. The one thing I learned in that first seminar is how powerful but also sensitive the mind is, and that it is sheerly just a computer, and whatever you put into it is what it processes and spits out. I mean, it's sheerly just like a software program, garbage in, garbage out, good things in, good things out. And so I have been a very there's two things that I've done very proactively in my life. I've protected my mind, and I feed my mind. What I mean by protected, we are exposed, especially in these times of financial crisis and all the news media. We are bombarded, our consciousness is bombarded with negative news, fear, worry, anxiety, and that has an incredibly damaging effect on our creative outcomes. I mean, the way that it was explained to me, and the way that I've seen it materialize in my life, you get in life what it is that you create. Okay, I mean, we're all creative beings. We come into this world the same, naked and scared. What you do after that is part of what you create, right? So you create what you expect. You know, we've all heard that expectation manifests into creation, and that becomes your life. Well, what are you expecting then? You're expecting whatever it is that you're thinking about. Whatever you're processing in your mind is driving your expectation, is guiding your creative process, is producing your outcomes. Well, then it begs the question, what are you thinking about? And you're thinking about whatever it is that you're putting in front of your eyes and you're putting in your ears. Your input. The input is what is driving your thinking process, driving your expectation, driving your creation, and then that becomes your outcomes. And so when you put the negative sensationalism, crisis, fear, worry input into your head, that becomes what you think about. It becomes what you expect. It's what drives your creative process, and this cycle, continues. So I have been a very discerning consumer of information. I don't know that everybody should follow this advice, but I don't ever watch news on TV. I don't ever listen to news on the radio. I don't read news on the newspapers. I will selectively sign up for news sources about business or areas that are part of my productive objectives. But I don't listen to news haphazardly, because it has a profound impact on your creative power. The other side of that is that I have been an avid, proactive consumer of positive input, because that same creative input, thinking, expectation, creative outcome process works in the positive direction as well. So whenever I'm in my car, there's a CD program playing. Again, even if I'm not listening to it, it just elevates the environment. It stimulates my creative mind. If I'm at home, I'll be watching a movie that I have selected, or I'll be watching a DVD program. I'm constantly reading personal development oriented, personal achievement, business, financial, relational motivated books, and I do it as part of the process of feeding this creative being that I'm responsible for protecting and feeding. So yeah, I don't know that there's not an innate talent. I'm not born with it. I'm not extra gifted, but I will say I'm extra disciplined about protecting and feeding. And I think that's really what is the driving force for the results that have become sort of the track record thus far.